We might as well go a little deeper. Now let's get deeper. Have you ever heard of a vortex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they say a chakra is a spinning wheel of light. You ever heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they say that? All right, here we go. Now we was out in Arizona that's known, Sedona, known for vortices, or a vortex.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody asked somebody, what is a vortex? But the spiritual people started talking, and all of them was off. Because we was trained again to talk spiritually. Oh, did we say this? And then I had to come in, I ain't break it up, but later on, I said, I'm gonna explain to you why that's a vortex. What's taking place. It's not a belief system, there's a science taking place. Now, a tornado is a vortex. When you're take the tub, the stopper out of a tub or the sink, and it makes that vortex. That's a vortex, a whirlpool,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a vortex. So that means, and that's on a water air level, that means it's physical. All right? So when you go to these high energy places, and you say, I can feel the energy, there's something physical taking place, you just didn't know it. But you're relating it to spirituality. What's happening is, in the air, the molecules is moving a certain way, just like if you was in the ocean, and you know how they say an undercurrent can come take you? That's what's taking place in the air. The air is always moving. But in that particular space, it's moving in a certain direction at a certain speed. And when you come into it, man, this energy feels good. Man, I get charged up when I get there. Ooh, the spirit is good in there. But that was just the laws of physics. That's why you can make a vortex. People do it all the time. Uh-oh. So that means, we got to say it. Spirituality is physical. It's just that you couldn't see it, taste it, or smell it.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
The spirit, the S-P-I-R in spirit
Here we go.
is the same spirit, S-P-I-R in respiration.
Here we go.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
So it's the breath.
It's the breath.
It's the breath.
It's the breath.
Something physical. So if you want, that's why you got breath work is popular.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to upgrade your spirit or want a stronger spirit, you work with the breath. And what do the breath work with? The body. It's all physical. So that's why when science says, oh, they just talk on a materialistic level, they actually adhere to you. This is all, now listen how I change it. This is all material, but it's all spiritual.
All.
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 That's why E equals MC squared. So when a Breatharian says they live without food, they are living with another substance that's physical. It ain't no belief system put tape on your mouth. Oh, did we say this?
Mm-hmm.
We got to make it make sense, or people will hurt themselves, or will find themselves stuck in the ignorance because it wasn't explained. This is good, ain't it? But once you can see you're working with something tangible, even though you can't see it, taste it, or smell it, and you got the tool that can work with it, you can make it happen. Did we say this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
So then, so you're getting the body, the tool ready to work with it because you're moving obstruction so that the breath can flow.
Here we go.
There it is.
And this is why I believe you said you would listen to Sadhguru or somebody.
The Osho.
Osho. But Sadhguru, I'm glad he said this. He said yoga is designed to allow the practitioner to understand their body is an instrument. It's an instrument. This is what you're living in. And I put a post on not too long ago on social media. You should use your body as an instrument instead of an ornament. Whole different ball game.
Yeah.
This is what makes you a practitioner. You got something to work with, a bio machine, a biocomputer. And if you, just like any machine, the more knowledge you get on how to use it, it's a structure manual, the more you can do with it. This is good, ain't it? Now, We heard of that word prana. Maybe y'all heard that word prana from India.
Yeah.
Sanskrit word prana. Some people heard it, some don't. It's cool. But more people know about it now than before. And it's known in the yoga circles. Prana. You'll run into that word. But in the West, prana basically came on the scene just over 100 years ago. That book, Autobiography of a Yogi, was written in 1920. And him and other yogis started coming here to the West. That's when the word started getting introduced. So it is new to this culture. It is new. And this is what he said back then. People couldn't even catch it. He said you got electricity going up and down your spinal cord. It's right in that book. And he said the electricity is God. Don't we say God is in us? Yes. Don't be scared of it. How you going to work with God if you can't see who it is or what it is, and that you can work with it? Other than that, you have a belief system. That's what it's going to boil down to at the end of the day.
Belief system.
Mm-hmm. And then we got to remove the belief system so we can get into.
We eat our belief system.
We're eating the belief systems. Here we go. Now let's get real with it. So prana just came 100 years ago. Now we heard of that word chi or ki from China. That's new to this culture. It started coming around when martial arts came to America. American fighting was the Wild Wild West. You know, winding way back, you can see it coming. That's the movies we was used to. So back in the early 60s, 70s, that's when it started getting introduced through martial arts. So it's still new to this culture. Chi. Now we're gonna get into chi and prana, but now there's another big word. They all mean the same thing. These words just mean life force, energy. And it's used in the medical profession right now, but it's just a cultural word. Life force energy. But there's another word from Africa, Egypt, and it's the Ka. K-A. It means the same thing. But Egypt is well known. But why haven't you heard of the Ka? Uh-oh, that was excluded for a reason. Now it means the same as prana and chi. Yes, it does. But when you study the Ka, it's going to tell you a lot more what you can do with it. That's why it wasn't introduced. But now it's being introduced and it have to, because the solar breatharian knowledge is on the scene. Because that's where the invention came from.
They put that knowledge in a book, and they changed the name of the book.
Right.
From the coming forth by day and by night, they changed the name from the Perdem Haru to the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
The Book of the Dead.
And that's where they have the knowledge of the Ka.
That's where the knowledge is at. And just the name have kind of thrown you off.
Change the name up so I don't want that.
And then when you do read it, it's mythical. But now we got to make it real. All right, let's see what the Ka is. Go ahead and read.
Ka is the life force or spiritual double of the person.
It's the life force. Didn't we say today they use the word life force? The medical profession, the science profession, life force energy. Nikola Tesla, that's what they was all talking about. So it ain't spooky. It's not in the spiritual circles only. It's in the scientific medical circles that came from ancient times. So the Ka is the life force energy or spiritual double. But the word of the person. But the word to catch there isn't spiritual double. Don't worry what that means. The word is spiritual. I'm glad you hit that. Some people don't know what spiritual is. How can you know you're on the spiritual path if you don't know what spiritual is?
It's breathing. It's breathing.
But we're going to break it down even more tangible.
Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
We got to.
We must.
Keep reading. We must.
The royal Ka symbolizes the pharaoh's light to rule a universal force that passed from one pharaoh to the next.
So the royal, now they called it royal. And it's the thing that gives you the right to rule. That's real deep. Somebody's energy gives them the right to rule. Listen at that. So that means if there was a presidential candidates going on, nobody's looking at their Ka. Because we don't know what it is.
Can you read that again?
Read that one more time. Nice and loud.
The royal car symbolized a pharaoh's light
A Pharaoh's light.
to rule a universal force that passed from one pharaoh to the next.
And it's a universal force. It's life force energy. It's universal. Not only a human has it, a dog has it. Those trees has it. It's the universal force. It's the source. Oh, this,
But what you said about it's all it's all the same life force and everything,
right.
but the body and the function of the body gives it its form.
Gives it its form.
If it's a human
Listen
body,
at that.
you got a human life force. If it's a mouse body, the mouse can only function
This is what he said.
as a mouse in the mouse form.
Right. So there's only one consciousness. That's why there's a thing called unity consciousness. But when it hits the form, that's when you say we're under human consciousness, dog consciousness, but you're the same being. Oh, did we say this? Oh, man. I just got high. But it's the one that determines the right to rule. That's what made Egypt famous. The Ka.
For thousands of years.
For thousands of years. The leadership was based on their energy force. Somebody was glowing. But do we judge leadership like that today? No, we didn't know nothing about that. You're going off of who talks the smoothest, who looks the best,
Who got the most
who
money?
rides the best, who got the most money. That's what was lost. But if you gain that back, they straight up saying it's the Ka that would give you the right to rule. That's not even a democracy. Uh-oh. We got to go there.
That's potency.
Well, I wonder the Ka wasn't given to you.
That's potency.
And Egypt is the father of this civilization.
Absolutely.
Did we say this? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know they say Greece in school, that's what we was taught.
No.
But they overrated it with a pen. All of them went to Egypt to go get learned.
All
Yes,
of
they
it.
do.
Exactly.
All of it.
Exactly. It's only stolen
Right.
information.
And even every state I've been in, running around, not over every state, around the world where I travel, I always see something reminding me of Egypt. It's the foundation of the world.
That's right.
But they didn't give us the Ka. Because if you knew that the life force of a person gives them the right to rule and power, that changes the ball game. Because that's what sets you free and fight your battles. But they gave everybody a belief system. Go ahead.
I don't think that, can you say that it's not that they didn't give us the call? They stripped it from us.
Well, let's say it like this. There's a saying that says, truth is hidden in plain sight.
Right.
Did we say that? Because he told you where to find it.
Absolutely.
We read it,
So it wasn't taken from you, just don't understand it.
it was in another language.
And then after we get done, after I get finished revealing all this to you, you're going to say it has been in my face all along. So that's why after a while you can't blame nobody else. You don't have no enemies.
Come on now.
Oh, man.
That's what we talked
We're
about
here to
yesterday.
remember. Okay? It's
Right.
all in us already.
It's all in
It's part
you.
of our DNA.
We
We're
got to
born
tap
with
into
it.
it.
It's
We
our
are
birthright.
opening it up.
We
We
just
are
got to remember.
unraveling
We
it.
got to open up them channels.
Here we go.
So that's
And
what we
bring
do.
it out.
That's
think-
right.
I
That's
think
what we
the
do.
power.
Yeah, I think we
Yes.
see it in each other because sometimes you say you got that leadership quality or you got that glow. You got that glow about you.
Right.
We see it, but we don't identify it because we never familiarize with it. And like everything else in this culture, they quantify it so we can understand what it is. Like they get a name for it and say, hey, this is what we're going to call this. So when you see it, you say, this is what it is. So now when you see like a person glowing, you're like, damn, they got that glow about them. That could be their car. Which
It is.
It's their car showing you that that person can be a leader. That person can rule.
Now listen what he said, because they're glowing. Everybody glows. It's just that some people glow more than others. That's a scientific fact. They got machines now. They can show you the glow that's coming off of you and what color it is.
But we say that in
Curling
instead of
photography.
being Below, or we're saying as car is the same as the aura.
Yep.
So
It's the same as the aura.
yes.
The same as the electromagnetic field that's coming off the body. Well, I was trying to find something. I was trying to find my Curling photography picture.
So that's what they say. Like you have to expand your aura instead of let it shrink. Because you let it shrink, you're giving people access to you.
My first time.
Now listen at this. We used to use the word aura, but now today they changed it to electromagnetic field. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
See, it's the play on words that's messing everybody up.
Yes. And it's what we just did.
Yeah.
Exactly. When we were just out there, we was working with the ka,
Yeah.
the prana, the chi, the life force. That's why your shoulders got healed.
Yes.
You was playing around with the light.
Play more.
Play more.
Play more. And this is easy. You know what? The journey is simple, but it's not easy. Starting out. It's not easy because we got to deal with this.
Yep, that was my experience out there. It's like giving myself permission to do it. You know,
Here we go.
when you're living with all these other energies around you, you know, sometimes it's hard to give yourself permission to just like move your body
Right.
in a way that feels right. You know, because
Mhm.
people are looking like, why you doing that? My neighbor does it to me all the time because I'll like intentionally breathe because I'll realize I didn't take a breath, and he's like, or I'll pace back and forth, you
Right.
know, because sometimes I just want to move it around, and he's like, oh, because I used to work in a jail,
Right.
and he did too. We were both officers, and so he's always like, you looking like them inmates walking back and forth. I'm like, nah, Mr. Jones, you gotta move this out your body. Like, you can't just keep it all.
Because you kind of
tied
know it.
up.
Energy, remember I was out there, energy love to move.
Yeah.
The body loves to move. Matter of fact, they say the number one disease is a stagnant
Yeah.
lifestyle. Don't we got that term couch potato?
Yeah.
You sat down a little too long, slept a little too long,
Yeah.
and the body start freezing up.
Yes.
We might as well say it. It freezes up. Now, and what do freezes up mean? That just means when you were settled,
I was about to say,
that the toxicity in the body now started going into the muscle, the tendons, and when you felt it, it's stiffness. That's what we mean by freezing up. When you come on this path, you are basically thawing out through movement, structure, breath, to thaw out, to get everything flowing. See how easy we making this? It ain't hard, but we got to break it down simple.
So those of us that are that may be battling a disease, this is on the right path for you to take to heal yourself.
Absolutely, because now in metaphysics they'll tell you, diseases start in
The dis-ease.
an energy field
That's right.
before it manifests in the physical body. This is how they say in religion. Oh, it happened in the spiritual realm before it came to the physical. They saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So in order to cure yourself, you got to work with the energy first so it can manifest a new body. That's how it started. That's where you go. See, when you're dealing on this journey, you're going straight to the source. That's why we call it human photosynthesis. Photo means light. Synthesis means combining or put together, synthesizing something. Don't they say you get vitamin D from the sun?
Correct.
How do your body do that? When it came in contact with the light, it synthesized chemical reactions to give you what you needed. Now, if you could do it with that, can't you do it with other things? It's just that nobody told you. Oh, come on, let's go.
The ka was essentially a person's life force.
The ka is a person's life force. It's not mythical. Let's go with it.
And at death, it was separated from the body.
Now, this is a good one. At death, it was separated from the body. When we see a body laying there, the life force left. The food is still there. The clothes is there. The car is there.
The money's still
The
in
money's there.
it, but the car left.
Your friends and family looking at you. That means all those things I just mentioned, they don't give you life. The life force that left gave you life.
That's why you still.
Oh, that's rough, ain't it?
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Oh, man, let's go with it.
The reason for extensive and elaborate preparation for the body
The reason for elaborate and extensive
preparation
for the body is what?
for the afterlife was to ensure that the ka had a home.
That to ensure that the ka had a home. And they use that word afterlife. This is what confuses everybody. Because we thinking, and this is why the church plays on it, You're going to go to another place after you die. But they use the word afterlife, and the Quran used the word the hereafter. See, right now, you're living one type of life due to the energy that's coming into the body. So the energy that's coming into the body now is not enough to really sustain you. That's why you're going externally. But after you prepare it for the car to have a home, it's preparing it for the afterlife, the life you're going to have hereafter this one.
So immortality.
Did we say this?
So immortality.
Immortality. Because you made yourself sick. See, there's a reason why the shoulders got stiff. We ain't going to go into it. But it was something.
That's, yeah.
It just didn't happen.
And that's also in the book. That's also in the Perdem Haru. The immortality is there.
It's there.
The knowledge is there in that
A
book.
child is not thinking about dying. It don't know.
And that's what they say in Kemet. They say every day is a good day to die.
Every day is a good day to die.
every day.
Here we go now.
Imhotep. Say,
Imhotep.
eat, drink, and Imhotep said, eat, drink, and marry. Eat, drink, and be married, for tomorrow we die.
Absolutely.
And when you're born, in the morning, we rebirth.
Here we
Yes,
go.
we rebirth again.
You rebirth
Every
again.
day we die.
But through elaborate preparation and extensive preparation. You're talking about somebody's preparing something for the cow to have a home. Instead of the cow getting kicked out. Don't we say the body's the temple of God? Let's make it make sense. And God is that energy you were just working with. God healed the shoulders. I keep bringing you up. But that's what happened. You was preparing the body, giving it a home.
So that's where people say that they don't want to be in their body no more because it hurts so much.
It hurts. They ready to get kicked out. And it's hurt due to blockages.
Yeah, and the car ready to
The cow ready to go because they don't have a house prepared for
My
it.
body's attacking me. No, it's not.
But we didn't understand the importance of energy. This civilization don't understand the importance of energy. Egypt became famous because it did. And the fall came when they stopped paying attention, putting it first.
That's what happened.
And for you to have the right to rule, you got to pay it attention again. Other than that, it's not going to happen. That's wild, ain't it?
Oh, that's, you know what? No. Here's what. I was having a conversation about our forefathers, ancestors, Malcolm X. They didn't realize they'd see each other car.
Right.
They were just fighting because they didn't see who car. Because
Right,
if you saw
right.
the car in the divine in each other,
Be the
Right.
same.
we wouldn't.
You wouldn't fight.
Because you earned your right to rule,
Yes,
and I earned my right to rule.
Right.
that's that.
So we meet on a level,
You're one being.
and
You
we
want
respect.
me-
We respect each
we
other.
respect. There was no respect there.
Right. See, because right now we're seeing on duality, but
Yeah.
we're one being. But you can't see unity until you expand your energy.
Yeah.
You can't see it. That's what they mean by spiritual blindness.
Hold on. Say that again. Say that again, Elitom. Seriously, say that again.
Sometimes. Because you're only seeing what your body perception will allow you to see. So if the energy is still low, you just see duality. But when you raise your energy, the frequency, then you can see unity. The unity, because there's only one consciousness. You don't have no enemies.
No enemies.
That's what we were talking about driving in.
No enemy within.
Right.
No enemy without.
Nobody to blame.
Nobody to blame. Well, they hid it from you and they conspired. No, they didn't. They gave it to you. You couldn't see it.
They give it to us all the time.
All the time.
They show it to us.
They have to. They have to tell.
And who is they? They is you.
You. That's right.
You gave yourself the permission to give it to you at a certain time.
At that point in time.
That's why you can see it. It's no philosophy. It starts becoming real. People ask me all the time, I'm from Akron, Ohio. How did you get the message there? I worked with the energy. It showed it to me. And I found out it was all around me.
There all the time.
I was already a breatharian before I went to the older cultures. Teaching them. That's wild, ain't it? Oh, man. Now let's Read again.
A Ka statue is a type of ancient Egyptian statue intended to provide a resting place for the Ka.
To provide a resting place for the Ka. So the statue is symbolizing it, but this is why you're preparing a resting place for the Ka, a home. See, when you look at the 7 days of creation in the scriptures, that's talking about, now 7 is 7 chakras. This is esoteric knowledge. That's your development through extensive practice. When you make it to the 7th day, God rested from all his works.
So is that
You're
why-
God, you rested. You did the work. Now you got a home.
So that's why they say, I go before to prepare a place for you.
I go before to prepare a place for you. This is it. So this isn't mythical no more. When we were just out there, that's what you were just doing. And the Lord was coming home because it moved blockages, didn't it?
Yes.
That's how you know. You know you're getting more of the Ka flowing through the body when you start getting healthier and having more energy. This isn't spooky. This is good, ain't it?
Yes.
And if the body changes, your thoughts is going to change because the body and the mind is one. Right. Let's keep reading.
Ka means soul or spirit.
Listen at this. Now, this is the key right here. This is what's messing everybody up. Especially they can't see that the human being don't need food to eat. Let's get into it now.
Uh-oh.
The Ka means
Soul
soul
or spirit.
or spirit. Soul or spirit is one. It's the same thing. I know a lot of people don't know that because the church teaches different. I'm gonna tell you why. The soul and the spirit, they divided it. But the soul and the spirit is the same thing, and both of them is the Ka. We got to make it make sense. All right? It's the same thing. That's key number one. Because that's the unity consciousness. See, just like your mind, body, and emotions, they're one. So when you look at me, you're looking at my spirit. You're looking at a spirit. You're looking at my emotions. You're looking at the way I think. But you only can see that when you have an expanded Ka. When you can't see that, it's easy to hide. Or they look good, but they're emotionally messed up. But somebody who can see unity can see it. Let's keep reading.
Soul definition.
All right, now I said the spirit and the soul is the same thing. What's the definition of the soul?
The spiritual or immaterial,
The spiritual, go
or
ahead.
immaterial part of a human being,
The
or
immaterial
animal,
part of a human being or animal
regarded as immortal.
regarded as immortal. Even an animal is immortal. Did we say this? You're already immortal. Everybody's killing themselves. Or did we say this? Because they ended the unity consciousness. That's how we know. It was fragmented. If it was whole, it wouldn't have died. Let's read.
The essence of a human being,
The essence of a human being. Go
that
ahead.
which confers an individuality
Mhm.
and humanity, often considered to be synonymous with the mind or self.
It is also synonymous with the mind or the self. Every time we talk higher self, we do this. By habit. That's not what it is. It's the soul. It's inside of you. Your higher self is inside of you. But we've been trained to do this because we was trained. God is outside of us.
Outside.
We was
External.
trained to do this.
External.
Instead of looking in the mirror. Hey, God. Hey, higher self.
But isn't that also like the gesture we use for surrender?
Surrendering.
Surrender. That's
It-
the Ka.
That's the
a
Ka.
symbol for the
This
Ka.
is the statue of the Ka. If you don't know it, go look it up.
This is the
Yeah, we
symbol
see
for
it.
the
Yeah,
God.
that's the symbol for the car.
That's the God.
And then check this out. That statue and that knowledge, let's say 5,000 BC. That's a long time. Now, when we think of Qigong now we do it, we think of China. But they didn't get it till about 3,000 years ago. They ain't started. But we always talk about their ancient civilization. No put down. We always talk about India's civilization with Prana. They got it about 3,000 years ago. It came to them. Egypt was already working with it. Yeah.
The whole
But that culture was thrown out the window. Don't go there. And where's Egypt located? Last time I checked, it was in Africa. Well, I wonder they didn't bring it forward to tell you about the Ka. We keep looking at somebody else's culture, and it was already in your culture.
I mean, it's in you.
It's true.
That means
But it's the
in
same
you.
thing. But you need to see the influence that's what the name of the game is. It's nothing else. It ain't about money, clothes, materialism. It's all about the energy. That's what the plan is all about. Let's roll.
Ancient Egyptians believed that everyone had a Ka.
They believe, now here we go. Everyone have a Ka.
Everyone.
So that means even though we brought up that about China, India, and Africa, it's all the same thing. So it ain't ours, this and that. It's a universal force that's lighting up everything. That's why you don't have no enemies.
That's right.
And when I travel to other places, people be like,
Universal life force.
you be with these other cultures and they just be accepting you because that's me. I know that. That's all that counts. I'm the only thing that exists. See that thought process? That's the Ka. Let's roll with it.
The Ka is the life force believed to live within the body during life and survive it following death.
And it survives it after death. It's in you. That's what's giving you life, animating the body. And even when the body goes, the Ka's still alive. But on that other verse, you're getting it ready for the hereafter through preparation of the physical body so it can have the home to stay in if you want to stay here. But don't blame nobody that you left from here because the government gave you bad food. It ain't had nothing to do with that.
It was you.
It was you.
And then you have to come back.
You had to go back for it.
Now you got to come back.
Oh, man.
Do it all over.
And try all over again.
Get it right this time.
This is
Right
good.
time.
So that's why
Next time.
immortality is out there. It's from Egypt, and it's through the yogic system.
Yes, yes.
You go through the yogic system, they tell you, but a person can't believe it due to their condition. Their Ka ain't big enough. All right, let's see.
The soul is you in your body. It is so simple.
The soul is you that
Yeah, in your body.
in your body, and it's so simple.
Yes. Life is what you and your body does as far as they are kept together.
As far as they're kept together, life is what you and your body does. As long as they're kept together. Oh man, this is
Because when they
good.
separated,
When they separated, your life,
is
there
separated
ain't no
from the
more
body,
life.
That's it.
But it's what you and your body does. Your body means everything. So we might as well say it in religion and spirituality, the old thought, they discredited the body. It's sinful, it's ugly, it's this, it's put down. But wait a minute. If this is where the Ka live and the Ka don't think that,
Right,
Right.
right. It's a temple.
it's a temple.
It's a temple.
Oh man, this is good. And as long as the Ka stay in here, the temple will stay. Did we say this? You got to kick the Ka out. You do. Get evicted. All right, let's keep. Pay your, it's a currency.
Yes.
Oh man, let's roll.
The Bible teaches that we consist of body, soul, and spirit.
Now let's stop right there. This is where the play on words is at. The Bible teaches that we have a body, soul, and spirit. But we just found out that the Ka said spirit and the soul is the same thing. So what are they talking about? They split it up. So if you was to go through, and I ain't picking on church or nothing else, but if you was to go to spiritual people and ask them the difference between the soul and the spirit, you're going to hear all types of answers. They don't know. Because of stuff like that. That's in what? 1 Thessalonians. But in Egyptian thought, the spirit and the soul is the same thing. And keep in mind, soul is a word that came later in the game. It was made up. Let's roll.
The non-spirit, the non-physical part of a person.
Now, spirit, the definition, what is spirit?
The non-physical part of a person.
Didn't they say that about the soul? Ding. Ding. Here we go.
Spirit, the non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotions and character, the soul.
The seat of the emotions and the character, the soul. That's the definition of spirit. They're the same thing.
Different words.
Just different. The words confusing everybody. That's what keeps you in duality when you can't figure it out. Oh man, and duality is not going to get you to be self-sufficient. That's why you got to work on this. You got to break right through it to see what it really is for what it really is. And then you got something to work with. Let's roll.
Spirit etymology, breath.
Give him a round of applause. Spirit etymology means breath. Here we go. And then the scripture say, and God breathed into Adam and he became a living soul.
And then to inspire.
Inspire.
That's why they say, what's my religion? You can go.
Here you go, just breathe. But see, God breathed into Adam, so that just shows you Adam noticed his spirit. He was already alive. Let's get out of that mythical stuff. There was already people on the planet. He just came into the aha moment, like I did in Ohio. That was Genesis all over again. That was Genesis taking place all over again. I found out, what is this? Right. And I worked with it till I rested on the seventh day. Serious, that's all we're doing, recreating the story, but bring it down to earth so you can see it. All right, let's roll.
The spiral is the most widespread shape in nature.
Now stop right there. This is why they use that word spiritual, because of the word spiral. And it's the most
Widespread shape in nature.
in nature. And you are nature. And that's why when they show you yoga and they show you how the serpents is going like this, they're showing all this waving. When you look at the electromagnetic spectrum in science, energy is moving like this. The radio wave, the X wave going a little faster, gamma waves going even faster. Everything's moving in the spiral type form. Let's roll.
Arises out of opposites and holds lessons about conflict resolution.
And see, it is also showing that it arises out of conflict because you got negative and positive and all this other stuff, these names. But the sine wave in electronics, you ever see that? It's a wave that come up and down that's got a line going in the middle. That's the sine wave. And what it's showing is the negative and the positive, how energy flows.
It's the bell curve.
The bell curve, here we go. And that shows you, oh, this is good. That shows you the frequency on how it's moving, how it's coming off the body. So when they showed you yoga in those serpents, that's the sine wave. Your body's always giving off a wave, whether you're awake or asleep. But it depends on your lifestyle on how it's coming off the body. Your thought process. It could go slower or it could go faster. You're in control of that. And one of the main things is your breath. When you breathe in, your lungs expand, it pulls the diaphragm down. That just sends a certain frequency. So the better and smoother your breath with no blockages gives you a better frequency. And how do you know? Because you have better health. Through breath. God breathed in the animal, he became a living soul.
It's like when
go ahead.
You know, when you watch those karate movies, when they you hit them and they about to, and they catch their breath and start breathe and control their breath.
Ready to work some energy.
Yeah, they working the energy.
Working energy. Just physical.
Yeah.
The air is physical.
Yeah.
Did we say this?
Yeah.
A breatharian lives off the air. Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's physical. They know what it is. Oh, let's roll with it.
The spiral is also a worldwide symbol of self-transformation.
Now, the spiral is also a worldwide symbol. It's in all ancient cultures all around the world, and it's a symbol of transformation. The human being is good at transforming itself. We're good at it. We do it all the time. You can become all types of things. You can. You've been all types of things. Huh? You're good at it.
I don't think you mean that in a good way, though.
The price just got to be high enough, you know, with your next creation.
I told you.
We're good at transforming. So that's why on this transformation, we're telling you the importance of the cow. Now, if you don't give it no importance, you just ain't going to transform with that. That's all. Nobody's forcing you. But if you see the importance, And if you really want to
Somebody phone right
transform
Somebody
into
phone.
that, it's going to
That's
happen.
his-
Oh,
So that's like a set kept. When we do our meditation and we do bring the car and we go and we take on the transformation, like we talking about a set. We deal with the transformation and we do our meditation. And
Right.
That's what we're doing. We actually building up our energy. And
Here-
that's what,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, we building up our car. When we sit, remember I say we sit every
Here
morning.
we go.
Every morning I sit in meditation to build up my car so I can get out. That's why I always say I don't deal with the world until I build up my car.
Listen at him. He meditate. It's just like the cell phone. This is built off of the human being. When the battery gets low, you charge it up. That's what meditation is for. Did I say this?
Yes.
That's why on the Breatharian path, a person that's on the path meditates. There's no what. That's how you charge up. You got to go plug up. That's what we was doing out there, plugging up.
But when we was out there and you said to relax, every time I try to relax and bring my arms this way, my arms levitate on their own.
Here we go. Right. And like you said, let it go. You'll be shaking and all of this. I remember one time I was in Canary Islands and I was practicing on my own. So I'm sitting there and I went real low. So of course I was shaking, right? But some dude was looking at me and he started mimicking. So after I got done, he was like, yeah, what was that? I was doing it too. And I said, I was shaking because the energy block is getting blocked up in the body. It wasn't purposely.
So that dance.
Oh, man.
So the shaking that you experienced when we was doing that was because of the energy field was unblocking.
It's sort of like, to give you an analogy, say there's a river and the river's running smoothly. Then all of a sudden a tree falls in the river. Now the river ain't gonna stop the whole river from going, but it's gonna have to find a new way to get through there. And we feel that is a blockage. So you're coming along with the practices and meditation to remove the tree out of the river so it could go back to its natural flow. That's it right there. So when you felt that shaking, that's the tree moving to get out of there. And the force is the river didn't stop. It still got that force going.
Because whenever I bent over, I felt like I was about to fall. That's why I bent over.
Right. Here we go. That's a lot of power out there. Just in this room, and this is a scientific fact. In this room, there's 100 volts of electricity right in the atmosphere. They'll tell you this right now. Now, if they're telling us that they're giving it to you, why are we just sitting there like, well, I don't mean that, man. You ain't talking about me. What you mean? What you mean?
Y'all need to stop getting together.
Give me some of that. Give me that.
Give me that.
But
Let me fuel up.
But we're not unified though. We're not there yet. That's why
We there now. That's why we talking about it.
we are here. And when a bunch of us get in the room,
That's why I talk about that to people sometimes. They be like, I be like, well, you got a mouse in your pocket? We ain't talking to us. We came a long way. We working with this. That's why we talking about it now.
You know something? I'm gonna say this because, you know, when you do a massage, you're using a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean a lot of energy. But after 8 massages, you like, where I'm gonna get the rest of the energy to do this last massage.
Right.
And I just started pulling it from everything. The walls, the floor, everything.
Right.
I had so much energy, I could do 10 more massages.
Here she go.
well, that's
That's something, ain't it?
You pull it.
Yeah.
You pull it in. It's there. Pull it.
It's there, pull it.
I learned that from me cooking. Remember what I was talking about? I Reiki the food. And when I Reiki the food, sometimes they'll tell you I sit down and I'll sleep. But then I meditate. Or I do what's the meditation I always say? The sleeping one.
Well, check this out, though.
Meditation.
Yeah,
Yoga
no, you
nidra?
lay back.
Yoga nidra?
Savasana, yeah.
Savasana.
I do that. And when I wake up back, I feel charged. And sometimes I walk in the backyard and get like charged. And if I don't feel charged, I won't make no food. And people are like, what? Nah, not today. Because
Right.
I feel like and if I tap into the healing energy of the universe, my intention with my food is to heal. That is my intention.
Right. And this is good that both of y'all bringing that up. See, check this out. Everybody that's living is working with energy. They just aren't aware what's taking place. All the breatharian knowledge is doing is presenting to you. Well, you've been working with energy all along, right? Yeah.
Wake up.
Well, all right. Not only you can grab more energy, everything you're doing, you're spending energy. It's sort of like a bank account. It is.
But then, what if you're not making no deposit though?
Hey, check this out. What's his name? Benjamin Franklin. He brought that up. He related, when they was discovering electricity, he related to just like money in a bank, but he told the truth.
Yeah.
He said the more you got in the bank, the more you're able to spend. If not, you might as well go bankrupt. So what's happening with a lot of humanity, they're spending energy. Yeah, they are. But it gets to the point you don't have nothing to spend no more. No reserve. They don't know how to get more. So the breatharian knowledge is teaching you how to go get more. That's why you're learning the power of meditation. And it don't end. You can get as much as you want.
Endless.
A whole lot of people would be successful or living the life they wanted to do if they had the energy to do it.
That's right.
Did I hear that?
Yes. That's why they say youth is wasted on the young.
Here we go.
Because they spend out all their energy by the time they're smart enough to use it.
But here we go now. But we're gaining this knowledge now to go get that energy that's available to you all the time. Which is what? Spirit. Which is what? The ka. Which is what? The breath. They're all one and the same.
We call it a kemetic. Second. Yeah.
Here we go. Oh man. And the thing about it, that's why they got a thing called spiritual growth or spiritual cultivation. We didn't know this part. See, we're talking about the seesaw now. You're getting energy, you're spending it. You're going through that. But the more you work with it, the organism will get stronger to be able to hold more. In other words, you'll go from a piggy bank to a vault.
Word. Nice.
You can hold more. So a breatharian is just a person, their body can hold a certain level of energy, just a little bit more than the average person. See, we make it bigger than what it really is. No, it's not. That's something, ain't it? No, it's not. You're already there. Let's go.
Prana, breath, considered as a life-giving force.
Now, prana is what? Breath, which is spirit,
Which is spirit.
which is a life-giving force.
Yes. Prana,
Okay, go on.
prana is seen as a universal energy which flows in currents and in and around the body.
Now they talk about prana. Give it a definition. It's a universal force that goes in currents
Flows in currents.
and flows within and out of the body.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Automatic. This is a given. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, the Sanskrit. Life force energy, vital energy, breath of life, the vital principle.
And that's in Sanskrit. It's the breath of life. So prana, Adam was filled with prana. Let's talk. And God breathed into Adam. Who was God? I guess it was prana, the force. Huh? Let's don't make it spooky. We ain't got to give it a name. That's what's hurting everybody.
Adam took a deep breath.
Yes. And he woke up.
Took a deep breath.
Man, that's all I need? Yeah. Oh, let's read.
The term is used in yogic teachings as a general reference to the manifest energy of the entire universe.
It's used in yoga teachings as the manifest energy of the entire universe. When you are living in the energy of the entire universe. This is how powerful this is. You
Make a joke. Just ran, but I keep thinking about Star Wars. Force be with you.
Yeah.
I just really. Oh, they really onto something.
Yeah.
They're telling you what it is.
May the force be with you.
But a lot of movies that are
They
on
have
all
to
those,
tell
they
us.
have been telling us.
They've been telling you.
Speaking, I'm like, okay, seen this in that movie, and in that movie, that's what's said in this. And they're giving it to
They're
us.
giving it to you. And the Jedi, J-E-D-I, that's the DJ spell from the DJ pillar in Egypt. They're telling you. The spinal cord. The battery. Here we go. They telling you.
Which
But-
is breath.
But now, you're making a movie. Take it serious.
That's the thing.
Take it serious.
Everything,
You the star of this movie.
Break it down.
Oh man,
What did Master Yoda say? The force is strong with this one.
the force is strong with this one. Right. Oh man, this is
But
good.
to use the force, Luke had to relax.
It is just like
He had to relax.
he had to relax.
He said, "Let go." He said, "Let go of the what? The control."
Right.
Because he had to shoot the thing in the thing to blow up the Death Star.
Here we go.
I remember Star Wars came out first time.
You know
He
it.
said, "Let go of the control and use the force."
Absolutely.
And that's what he did.
And even Yoda was moving something with the force. And Luke Skywalker said, man, I just can't believe you could do that.
meditation.
But this is what Yoda said. That's why you couldn't move it.
Meditation.
You didn't believe you could do it. You got to break these belief systems.
But you know,
You are a system of energy held together by thought. You are a light being. That's all you are. You got to think about that. Work with it till you know it. Let's roll. Next one.
Well, yesterday we had a conversation about where spirit and how your physical body go out there and do stuff, do work.
Right.
But your spirit also keep your physical body alive. Keep it.
That's what's
strong.
animating it.
Yes, keep it strong. But
Yep.
if the spirit is weak, because that's why I say
The body is weak.
The body is weak. No matter how much you're working out.
Yeah. This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
If
That's
you're not
why-
working out right, you're depleting yourself.
Depleting
If you
yourself.
don't know what you're doing.
That's why in that book, Man's Higher Consciousness, what you're going to get out of that book, he said that the body is already dead. You're animating it with your mind.
I gotta read that book.
The problem is you trying to keep the body healthy.
Yeah, that's what you
How you going to keep something healthy and it's already dead?
Body is already
Died.
animated.
Already
Think
dead.
about it. The body.
The reason why this is moving, because of my thoughts has got it
So
moving.
that means your
That's
thought-
why there ain't no good diet out there.
That's why your thoughts have to reflect that of the divine or of the spirit.
And
it has to reflect that.
Now look at these words, these play on words. Remember I said soul is a new word.
Yeah.
Spirit is a new word. That's not the word they
So
used
you
in
gotta
that ticker.
reflect the car.
Well, check this out. They said everything is mind. Everything is mental. Now read that last one again. Listen at this. Yeah.
This original creative power is constantly flowing around us and inside us.
Well, that one where you said the mind.
Yeah, the mind.
Which one was you reading?
The term is used in yogic teachings as a general reference to the manifest energy of the entire universe.
Keep going.
Keep going.
The original creative power is constantly flowing around us and inside us.
All right. What was that last one you read?
Yeah, that's over there.
You gotta find it because
Yes.
this makes sense. And you just read it.
Prana, breath, considered as a life-giving force. Prana is seen as a universal energy which flows and carrying in and around the body. The Sanskrit life force energy, vital energy,
All right, here we go.
breath of life.
I gotta take over this. All right, it'll come to us.
Yeah, it'll come.
We're just moving fast. But what it boils down to, now listen at this. Spirit is a new word, spiral and all of this. So in Man's Higher Consciousness, he says you are animating the body with the mind. The body's moving away due to the way you think. See, energy follows the thought. Your mind is your greatest muscle. So mind is the spirit, is the soul. It's the mind. So that's why we got to put it together.
That's the thing.
People say, what is the Breatharian knowledge? It's a holistic lifestyle, and I'll sit there. Now, what is a holistic lifestyle? People think just because you're eating a salad, you're holistic. No. No.
Nah, that's just eating food.
Holistic means whole. Mind, body, spirit connection. Mind, body, energy connection. They're all one. They must be connected. The average person, even though in reality they're connected, they don't know it. They think their body could do one thing, their mind could think another. Their energy, it really don't matter. If you putting them all together, that's when you live in a holistic lifestyle. And this all came together due to the way you think. Did we say this?
Yes.
You change the body, it changes your thinking. You change your thinking, it changes the body.
You said something on the other one I was talking about earlier, where our mind, we think our mind is separate from our body.
Right.
And that's why we are not healthy, because we haven't put our brain mind into our heart mind.
Here we go.
Into my liver mind.
Here we go.
Into my
Right.
intestine.
How do you
mind.
think about the temple?
The mind is, we limit our mind to just right here.
Head knowledge.
So yeah, you stuck in your head, and then you bumping into stuff every time you walk into the room because you're not connected. You're not whole.
Here we go.
And your mind is not able to, because you said that we supposed to be able, and we know people can do it. People like Wim Hof and even Yogananda was able to stop his heartbeat.
All this stuff due to the thought.
And then start it back again.
Mastering the body, mind mastery.
Yep.
Now check this out, I'm gonna prove it to you. All right, here we go, yoga. You sit here, you go to yoga, you only can bend this far to touch the knee, right? So you don't want to overdo it, but you get here, this is my limit. So you start focusing there, right? When you focus, the energy goes there, the heat goes there to break up blockages. Then you start breathing into that area. And then pretty soon, you can go down further.
Mm-hmm.
Then further, but you breathe into the area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do they mean by breathe into the area? There is no lungs here. The breath went there when the mind went there. So the breath is a mind.
Extension of the mind.
Right.
But if we say that the breath is life.
So when Adam became a living soul, it ain't had nothing to do with no breathing.
No.
He's just a mind. Intelligent, smart, aware. That's a homogeneous. He ain't no regular person.
There you go.
That's why spirituality is to transcend animal instincts. What do animals do all day? Eat, sleep, look for sex and shelter. That's all they do.
Yeah.
You transcending that.
But then
Most of the time.
That's wild, ain't
Most
it?
of the time.
Well, that's where it begins.
Yeah.
That's what that does. Not this animal. You go from a earth animal to an air animal. But all of this is consciousness. Oh, this was somewhere else, didn't it? You see how you start walking it? You gotta walk it. So that's why the car, we gave it all those words, but ultimately it's another way of thinking. That's what gives you the right to rule. You ain't ruling now because you don't think you can.
That hits when he says
You got put down too much.
So that-
Right. You don't know. Don't even know who you are. Oh man, did we say that?
That's right.
A vitamin, a mineral, what is that? That's how you start looking at it. Who said that? Why should I go study it now? I didn't do it before and I was running around. You start questioning everything, breaking belief systems. Till you come into your nature, you could do anything. Oh, did we say this?
That's right.
Keep reading.
Chi.
You got to see that way.
Chi. The vital energy that is
Now this is going to the Chi. We did Prana. Now listen to what Chi says.
Chi, vital energy that is held to animate the body internally, and it is of central importance.
It animates the body internally, and it's the main importance.
Of central importance.
The central importance. See how they all talking? No matter what culture, it's powerful. Chi, Prana, and Ka. But Ka they kind of kept from you because it's talking a lot harder. See, this system got the separation of church and state. They did that purposely. Don't talk that spirit stuff if you just sitting here and want to rule over the people. We would need somebody who ain't got no spirit. Or
underdeveloped.
underdeveloped.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is what we're talking about. But in ancient thought, notice that the Ka culture is the only one that had a pharaoh. A pharaoh is different than a king. A king takes care of material, physical affairs, and he has a priesthood to take care of that. It's already separated. But the Pharaoh is the one who take care of materialistic things, and he is the priesthood.
He is. He is. He absolutely is.
Whole other ball game.
He's a
Something
high-
else
he's a
is
high
going to get
priest.
created.
He's a high priest also.
It's a mind. Oh, let's go.
Eastern medicine treatments such as acupuncture and of exercise of self-defense such as the Chi,
Now here we go.
such as Tai Chi, pardon.
Such as Tai Chi. So they bringing up Chi. They'll talk about it. So in Chinese medicine, Eastern thought, acupuncture. Now I just did a video talking about, well, where's the meridians? Where's the chakras?
Mm-hmm.
It's your acupuncture meridians in the body. It's already mapped out thousands of years ago. We didn't know that. It's right in your face.
But
That's why you feel that way. There's some meridians coming up. And the more hyped up the energy in your hands is, reflexology, what? Your brain is here. Your neck is here. Your lungs is here. You know, you could go look at the map. The more cleaned up it is here, the higher energy is here. It's one unit.
that's like
Same with the feet.
that's right. That's why when you clean up your diet, your tongue become alive. The energy in your mouth.
Here we go. Clean up the diet.
You can feel the sensation of everything you're eating. You can feel everything.
Because when
You
your
can
when your
taste
gut is
it.
unhealthy,
Yeah, you taste everything.
when your gut is unhealthy, you get that coating on your tongue.
Yes.
And
Your
mucus.
digestive tract is you get that coating.
Here we go.
You know what I mean? So you can't
Mucus.
even
Taste
taste.
nothing. So
Right.
now you start. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, it's
Oh,
time
man.
behind. You know. So you're getting that.
Now here we go.
Prana, life force, energy, Chi are all ancient terms for the same thing.
They're all ancient terms for the same thing.
What these terms describe is pure energy.
Pure energy. What these terms describe is pure energy. If it was the same in ancient times, it's the same today. The game didn't change.
It's the energy that makes up who and what you are.
It's the energy that makes up who and what you are. Got it. That's the source. You connected directly with the source.
Yeah, but-
I eat apples.
but some
Leave that for
people-
that
But
animal.
some people start. But then
We ain't talking about some people.
no. There's there's a school of thought. Let's say a belief system that say that you can eat according to the chi of the food, the life force of the food.
Those are steps.
Yeah, okay.
We got you.
Yeah.
Those are steps. Because keep in mind, see, I even got to correct people on that.
Yeah.
Notice that I ain't even telling people what to eat.
Yeah.
The ancient term is, he who eat less live longer.
Yeah.
That's something. Because when somebody will come and say, this has more energy than that, what are you measuring it by? Because all physical matter has an electromagnetic field. The animate and the inanimate. So that means that even if you got a carcass there, I know we're in that beat, it still have an electromagnetic field. But how are we we'll measure that by pounds or weight. The other one, we measured it. Now the thing about a fruit, it has a certain voltage when it's on the source of its tree. When it comes off every 24 hours, every day, the voltage is coming down. So that means you could get a fruit that don't have no voltage.
Because it traveled from
One location to another.
By the time it gets here, it has no voltage.
Farm to table.
But the reason why we feel we got more energy, not putting it down, is because there's some foods that will go through the intestines a lot faster than others. That's what it's dealing with. Oh, did we say this? You got your own energy.
But then.
But before that, keep in mind that 99.9% of anything you consume is waste material.
Yeah.
It's feces. What energy did you get out of it?
But then what energy you have to give up to digest that?
Absolutely. Because it takes a lot of energy to digest the food.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You can give it energy.
right.
You can resurrect anything. You resurrect yourself almost every day. Okay?
Every day.
So you can give that dead piece of fruit the vital energy that it needs if you need to feed your child. Resurrect that apple.
That's what you're doing in the first place.
You
That's
know,
what you do.
put that energy in that apple and then hand it to your child.
All
They
external
not
foods,
Breatharians yet.
right? All external foods, we're the ones that's animating, giving it life, thinking about what it's going to be anyway.
Forgive me if you've already addressed this because I have come late, but I was in a fasting group,
Yeah.
and we were all just chatting about how we felt through each day of the fast, and by day 5, everybody was like, we were done. We were just like, oh,
Right.
I can't move. What is that? And then once we ate again, we felt.
Good question. She talked about fasting and why they felt like that. Well, let's get into it. Fasting and living on prana or life force energy is two different things.
Okay.
They're two total different things. Now we're in this fasting culture. A lot of people learning how to fast. Fasting is temporary for the physical body. Let's be clear. This life force we're talking about that sustains and animates the physical body, you're allowing it to grow through meditation and energetic cultivation practices so it could get bigger to sustain the body, and it won't need the food, and it's not even considered fasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's not even considered fasting.
Can you say that again?
It's the energy that you're growing that's going to, how should we say, carry on the body with little or no food. Now, you're going to do it gradually and slowly. Let's be down to earth. Like you was doing a 5-day fast, boom.
Boom, jump
We're
in
not
hard.
saying that on this. When I tell people when they start, fast once a week to get the body used to a new cycle. And the fast will become easier. Start lightening up the diet slowly. Start meditating every day. Now, we're the one girl that got her shoulders here. Right, and we was just out there on one session. Now,
There
just,
she is.
now that was just one session. Now just think, and I'm just throwing it out there. Every day for a week, is she writing it down? Every day for a month, you writing it down. Every day for a year, you're gonna be a whole nother person. Y'all felt that power you were just under? Mess with that for, give us some time. This is what we got, this is what I'm trying to motivate people to do. See, it don't matter if you believe me or not. When you put it to the test, you go find out yourself. I'm just trying to tell you what's around us and what's in you.
It's very important about who you fasting with also.
Yeah.
Because you're throwing off all these toxins and everything, mental, emotional, all kind of this. So now you're swimming around in other people's crap. Okay?
Like we said
But
earlier.
if you're gonna fast and you're gonna put your mind and your body and your intention in the fast, and you do it alone.
Here we go.
And when you do it with the right consciousness.
Right.
That you're doing it for the right purpose.
Right.
Because I have done a water fast.
Yeah.
5 days, work inside, all around food, restaurant and everything.
Right.
I was high as a kite. Just off of water and fast, and only drank a little bit of water.
Right.
So it's about what you are intending to do.
The mind again.
Here we
It's the
go.
mind.
It's the mind.
Right.
At the end of the day, it is the mind. So that's why, depending on your fast, usually people say I had better clarity of thought when the body got cleaned up.
Right.
Here we go.
The only thing I would add
Energy
to,
too.
but the other thing I was going to add is that true that by day 5 you felt weak because there was a belief system that the food brought you life instead of you brought life.
All this goes together.
Yeah, it goes.
I did a 96-hour fast. No food. Prepared food. Remember, and I was high as hell.
Yeah.
I was on 100.
Yes.
When I put the first food in my body, my whole body starts sweating. I'm like, what the hell is going on with me? And then I dropped down. And I said, I'm going to have to go back there. I want to go a week. Because now I felt so charged. I saw the food,
We got it.
didn't want the food, prepped the food for people,
Right.
and just like meditate. I'm going to meditate now. And that was my food. So when I'm done preparing food, I meditate. And one of the craziest things when I was meditating, I remember I was lifting, I work out, and I had a thing in my shoulder, but I started scanning my body, did my qigong and started scanning
Right.
my body. And I went there and I stood there, and then I got into a yoga pose for the body, and I sat there for a while with it. And like you're saying, I kept thinking of it, and I kept all the energy there. By the time I'm done, I was like, oh, it's gone. And I realized that how much, and he'll tell you how much yoga and meditation was so important.
Right.
And like I meditate in the morning and I meditate before I go to bed. And the more I started meditating, my energy level started getting up, go up. I realized I started getting up earlier to meditate.
Right. Well, we got this. The point of the story we're trying to make is we know these things.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you just need to up your game a little bit with a little bit more dedication and watch yourself transform. And then this will become from myth to reality or just be a bunch of words. Now that's good that you at least put your body to the test going for that fast 5 days. And this is what happens on a person that lives with prana and a person who doesn't. This is the difference. When a person who don't go without food, who don't really didn't build up their prana, when they get tired, they need food. So you can get more energy, because that's where the body's at. A person who lives on prana, when they get fatigued, they go rest and relax. So they can go charge up. See, what do you sleep for? To charge up. That's what it's all about. And you get up charged up because that's an unconscious meditation. Because you was in a relaxed position, your breath dropped, your brain went into the tether state, and that allowed the cosmic energy that's in the atmosphere. Look how I use that word cosmic energy. Prana, Ka, Chi, life force, whatever we want to call it, it had a chance to charge up the body and you woke up with more strength.
That's what you was telling me when we were communicating, when you said you got here.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm getting ready to recharge, rest up, and everything.
Here we go. And the more you do it, the more the body, see, we're creatures of patterns or habits. The more you do it, the body will get used to it and say, oh, this is what you want to do. That's all it's going to say. You're training it. See, we was trained to eat. And good at it.
Train you to eat. So that's
good
basically with your fast, what it is it's like you're exercising yourself. You're pushing yourself to the limit. Now, the thing is that the mind and the body just tell itself that I need food, because that's what you tell yourself. Because as I see food, sometimes we have emotional ties to food. And when you go without food for a long time, you say, you know what, man, this ain't good. I gotta get some food. And
where we at now?
You jumped into it to.
Here we go.
I don't know your cause, but
well, we got it.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Now you got your answer, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to put all the attention on you now like a self-help. You're rolling. Yeah, you came late, right?
He paid attention.
Right. So we can't just throw the energy on that. That's cool, right? You got your answer. All right. So now we got this word. Okay, Ka, Prana, we'll say that's ancient. Now, what do they use today? Here we go.
What's the medical term? Life force.
So they just use the word life force. That's why we call them life force energy for ancient words. Now, here we go.
Definition: vitality.
Vitality.
The essential condition of being alive.
The essential condition for being alive. That's the essential condition. Life force. That's what's giving you life.
The state of existence characterized by such functions as metabolism, growth, reproduction, adaptation, and a response to stimuli.
And the response, that's how they're saying it. You got life force, that's what gives it to you. And they at least told the truth through their words, because they didn't bring up you need this or that or other. This is what life force is. It gives you vitality. They told the truth. Work with the life force. Did we say this? Oh, man. And the good thing about this journey, we ain't say put tape on your mouth like it's a fast. You're going to eat your way into breatharianism. You know, you start looking at what you're eating, what tires you out more, what gives you more strength, what times a day makes you feel better. You start regulating it. But the main thing, keep the practice or grow into it of getting that energy to charge up the body. That's where it's at. Because you're working directly with the source. You're plugged in. Did we say this? Oh, man. Now, what's the next one?
All right. Throughout the years, vital life energy has been given many different names by the culture that has studied it.
By the culture that studied it, they gave it many different names. So this stuff has been here thousands of years. It's just making full circle. All of humanity just went to other things and played around and got hurt, sick, Found out that they ain't about nothing. They coming back home. That's what happened. Right, let's go with it.
When vital energy flows freely and unrestricted throughout the body, there is physical, mental, and emotional health.
Here we go.
And well-being.
Health and well-being, where it is flowing freely, that life force energy.
I was looking at this video on YouTube. I don't remember the name of it, but they were saying about trying to understand why here in the U.S. there's more overweight people than there is in other countries.
Right.
And saying that and knowing what you're saying, that may be the reason for their ways of eating than what our eating is here in the U.S.
Well, the U.S. in this culture, it became known due to materialism.
Yes.
Now, you either going to have one or the other. We went all the way out for this direction and left the cow over here. But you fulfilled this. There you did. Even an overweight person could be what? A homeless person could be overweight in this culture. Yeah, you did it. You pulled it off. Politician said, I'll give you a chicken in every pot. Everybody voted on it. So it's no bad thing. You just pulled it off, all right?
I know, right? You pulled it off.
So basically, you can do anything.
You can do anything. And keep in mind, the U.S. is extremist. Now when we talk about living off with no food, who's doing the most talking, telling you the most knowledge of it? People in the West. Because we exhausted this, and we know it ain't going to fulfill your life. We had to go through that experience to see it.
Minimalist now.
Now a minimalist.
Yep.
Oh, did we say this? You ain't going to go to something else until something else exhausts you that you think that's going to give you life. Once you find out it don't give you no life, then you're ready to make a change. Other than that, nobody ain't going to can tell you nothing.
That's right.
That's something, ain't it? You got to go through your phases. Oh, man. I went through it. Right. So like, this still ain't make me fulfilled. That's what happened. All right, let's roll.
Yeah, you become more resilient to stress. Your energy levels rise, along with your inspiration, creativity, and intuition.
But the main thing, your energy levels rise. We gotta know that one. You need a higher energy in order to be sustained with no physical food. You need a higher energy. That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Do that make sense?
Yes.
That's what you're eating for, energy. And you're connected to it both day and night. That's why I took you through that simple Qigong. All you had to do is do this. Come on, now, I ain't tell you that. That's all you, just do this. Relax. Y'all make it all hard. That's all you gotta do. Then when this get heavy, you go here. Right, but just sit down and let it do you. It's easy. Oh, man. This is good, ain't it? Oh.
Then how like you say, the vital signs and all of that. And we tap into the divine energy, because a lot of times though, I think we just rush into things. We don't sit and collect the energy before we
Well,
attack.
I'm glad you brought that up. Well, this is why you can see how the solar breatharian knowledge has evolved. We got to, just like any technology.
Yeah.
The car ain't like it first was invented, and the plane and all this stuff. So this knowledge was the same way. So there was a time where people hurt themselves for lack of understanding, didn't know what it was. We still went into it with that spiritual, religious mind. But when you find out this is a science, it takes some thinking. It takes some good application. You know what I mean? And start applying it, then you start seeing it work for you. It's sort of like Andrew back here. He's good at the skateboard. Sorry to put you on the dust. He's good at a skateboard. And this is what he said this morning. He showed me this one move where he jumped in the air and it was flipping and he landed. Man! Right, all right? But he said, man, it took me a couple years to learn that one. But when that one opened up, it opened up another door for him to work on something else. And then he said that one took a couple of years. But each phase opens up the door to open up something else, but give that phase you at now some time until you master it before you try to move on. People's thing is they want to jump from here to here. It don't work like that. You're going to get sat on your butt. Everybody who came into this fast came up short.
But that's where it also say that you have to, and which we talk about, you have to become that energy where you're trying to.
You become that energy that you're trying to pursue.
Yes.
The power of visualization.
Yes.
You got to see yourself doing it. See yourself doing it. This is good, ain't it? And you can pull it off, like I said. Why would we bring up humanity? Why would we bring up methods of transformation if we didn't know we can do it? That's why you did it. That's why you brought it up. Your ancestor did it, you can do it. Game's still the same.
But in this society, we hear of, like the Breatharian lifestyle doesn't teach you about superfoods and talk about that. And I think a lot of people feel like, well, I need superfoods to, survive, sustain me.
Right.
How does the Breatharian lifestyle?
Well, the main thing, we teach you meditation and how to get energy.
So that's all
you go with the superfood all you want. I mean, that's what you need to do. That's your choice.
Okay.
We ain't telling you what to eat. But when you figure out that the superfood ain't so super, we ain't gonna say I told you so.
Yeah, right.
We're just gonna leave it alone.
So
Come on back home.
I'm asking a question.
We are teaching you the superfood.
So basically, there is no dietary lifestyle in Breatharianism.
We just told it to you. That's the cow.
I know.
It's the life force energy.
Right. The
We
BS
gotta put it together.
Right. The BS is that food equals life, and that's untrue.
That's
That's the belief. That's the BS.
That's the belief.
bullshit. That's the bullshit.
So if anything, it's your mind that plays the big part.
It's the mind that plays the big part, and you're growing into it. And let's back it up. No,
So does the body
because
speak the language of the mind?
we don't want to hurt nobody.
That's right.
So let's back it up.
Yeah.
Here we go now, so it can make sense. Physical matter, they give you these words, is made of molecules. Something is more dense, the molecules are more compact. Solids. Liquids, the molecules are moving a lot more faster. That's what makes a liquid a liquid. And what makes the air or the vapor, they're just moving even faster. But there's still the three different phases of physical matter. Looks like they use that word. That's how I started out the talk, by saying the air is physical. Yeah, it is. And molecules are just moving faster. See, if I did this, and you feel that air, right? I pushed the molecules in the air. Why are we making this hard? I pushed something. And you felt it as, okay, I got it. That's what we just did. I just made a ripple. This is how you have to start thinking, down to earth. Oh man, that we getting this. And your body was designed to deal with all of this. All of it. Any level you want to go. You give it time to adjust at any level. Even when we tell people on a journey, okay, leave the heavier foods alone. At least eat something that's more bland. You know, even they tell you if you eat something real solid, chew it real good before you swallow it. So we're training you. You got to get trained to start dealing up here. But the game won't end out the same. It's there for you, but it's about you just being on there and where you at, being honest with it, and just keep letting the body transform itself.
I had a person ask me, why do you chew your food so long? I said, so that it can be easily digested. That's right.
Easy to digest it. And when I was in the military, I hurt myself. Well, that's why I got trained. Right. The first day I was there, and everybody ready to eat for the first time. Get up, everybody got to go. We ain't even had, because we wanted to talk first. We thought we was going to be dining.
15 minutes to get everything down.
But the next time we came to eat, nobody talked, and we was every meal. And when I got out the Navy years after that, that's how I ate. Not realizing that over a period of time, it was causing health problems. The body will let you know. See, the body's talking to everybody. That's why nobody gets away. Serious. All the health gurus already died. The people, they still got fans fall on them.
Right.
The blind follow the blind, you both gonna fall in the ditch. It didn't save them.
But that's the thing. What I realize is that, like I said earlier, as you evolve, the food get less, and it's supposed to get less. You're not supposed to stay.
It should.
You should get
Yep.
less. It should. It's a journey, but you shouldn't get stuck with these type of food. You're supposed to change it up. So, I always, when I make food for people and I see them, I talk to them. I say, I think you should move to this type of food. And they're like, why? Well, because I'm watching you and I'm noticing certain stuff.
Right.
And they like, you said to me that you feel this and this is not what it's supposed to do for you. You need to move to the next level because that's where
Gotta go to the next level.
Because that's what it is. We hold on to stuff because we are creatures of habit.
Right.
So we have to give up and lighten our load.
And I'm glad what she brought up about the fast, and I'm glad you bringing that up about lighting it, taking the good.
Yeah.
Because I still get these calls where they got other thoughts on their mind. They want to jump from here to here. And they usually got other issues.
Yeah.
You got to keep explaining this. Keep explaining this. It's not that type of party.
No.
And you don't know what's going to happen in the future. 1 minute you single, so you want to be this breatharian. And what brings couples together? Food and sex. So you're going to be caught up
I told
again.
you how I stopped, right? Yeah. And that's why I tell them how I stopped being a because you get in a relationship, you stop.
Here we go.
You stop.
I mean, but it's no put down, but everything changes you.
Yeah.
This will change you. A new job, a new location. And you got to learn how to take the cars everywhere. You're coming into the realization to get yourself back in sync everywhere you go, working with this energy. Didn't they say the car, everybody has the car? Everybody. Oh, here we go. And it's all over the place. Everywhere there's a living life form of a human that we migrated all over the planet because of the life force energy. If it wasn't there, you wouldn't be able to go there. Uh-oh, did we say this? All right, let's go to the last one. Here we go. Now listen at this real slowly. That's why the Western culture, when it first hit them, they have a problem with it at first, but the more they hear it and really see it for what it really is, people are catching it all over the place. But listen at this.
Western culture has not embraced the concept of vital energy, choosing to stay with purely mechanical models of health and science.
So they want to stay with the mechanical models of health and science because it's easier. It's easier, because you can see it and you think it's got security.
They think it's easy.
Right. So
And
Western,
it makes them money.
huh?
And it makes them money.
And it makes the system money. Nobody's arguing that. Because even acupuncture, even though the medical field accepted it, all right, they accepted it, but they use it for cancer treatment and cell regeneration because why would they use it for all these other things?
Right.
Because we got something for it. But would you understand that, man, well, this acupuncture channel, and let's break it down further. This is going to put the icing on the cake before we wrap up. Have you ever heard the word, you got a fascia?
Fashion.
Fascia. That's what holds the muscles together, the ligaments, the bone. It's a thin little sheet. Here we go.
In nylon sheet.
And they got like 4 different types of fascia. But just to talk about the main one, that you could go fact check it. This is good age we're in. The fascia is a conductor of electricity.
Yeah.
And the fascia is also where your meridians is located in the body, the energy system. So there was a time when we talked about chakras. Due to the information and where humanity was at, we couldn't find the chakras. So we just still thought it was mythical. We're in the age now where we know where the chakras, meridians, and how the energy is flowing. Now, the reason why they couldn't find it for a long time, and I just did a video on this, but to bring it back up, they got a thing called the primal vascular system. Any of you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I saw it in your video. No.
The primal vascular system. But the reason they were able to find it, because it's located in when the tissue is alive. So there was a scientist who actually from North Korea back in the 60s who was able to find it in living tissue. They wasn't able to find it before because as soon as a person dies, remember we said when the life force leave the person, they still laying there? Well, the system that was holding that life force together dissolved. Why should it be there? That's why they couldn't find it. But now we're in the age we know it's there. So there's no, so now you got the equipment. That's a good thing, ain't it? We could talk about this all day long. Now you got the equipment that's compatible to work with it. And all you got to do is what? Take this equipment and transform it with that energy. Bring them together. So we talked about the Egyptian Ka. I ain't even had to talk about the Ba. You ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Put them together, it's the Kaaba.
Kaaba.
The light body and the physical body is
Together.
one. The Kaaba.
Kaaba.
Oh man. And the Muslims, they go to Mecca, they go to the Kaaba.
Kaaba stone.
See how they all going back to Egypt, whether they realize it or not? They're telling you. But you must bring this energy, this light body. And see, that's why they got a scripture in Genesis that says, and the Spirit of the Lord hovered over the face of the deep. It's hovering up over your body, all this power. But your body is only letting some come in due to your belief. You got to let it in so you can say, let there be light. Oh man. So now let's take a time out. This is good. Thank you for the reading. And give yourselves a round of applause. We're going to work with some more energy.